Alright guys, so welcome to another video for the Poco X3 Pro, one of our most beloved devices on this particular channel. Today we are talking about the ROM that I have been using since the last 2 days, and we are talking about Evolution X 6.3 official. I flashed this a couple of days back, and since then I've been using it. I thought this update deserves a review, so let's go ahead and talk about the complete review. But before we get into the details, we have a giveaway going on for more than 10 of our PhoneOps Gears smartphone cases. Every week we will be announcing a winner on a live stream on Saturday or Sunday starting the first week of May. So do participate in that, and if you haven't already, please subscribe because it doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content like this. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. So let's see what we have here. We have Evolution X 6.3 official. The maintainer is this guy, a really long name though. I don't know why. Anyways, device is the Poco X3 Pro. This works on YU and Beema both. Android version is Android 12.1. Build date is the 25th of April. So a fairly recent update is what we are talking about. Now let's look at the changelog over here. Add battery health overlay, add fingerprint boost hint, import power profile from Coral, import fine-tuned audio ACDB configs, power hint remove Google specific camera hints, power hint decrease launch boost to 3 seconds. I don't know what that means. Power hint again fix F2 FS recess mode enable node. These are all technical terms, but it does seem that they've made quite a lot of changes, and that should be interesting to review this particular ROM. Now in the notes section, we do have OSS based include GApps, firmware 12.0.xx, SE Linux is enforcing, safety net should be passed, don't PM the dev. Now, this can definitely be flashed from TWRP. That is what I have done. Let me just go ahead and cross check if automatic brightness is enabled. No, it is not. So we need a little more brightness over here. Right. So Evolution X is what we are talking about. Let's actually go to settings and see what all options we have over here. So if you go to settings, you go to about phone, you go to the Android version. This is of course Android 12L or Android 12.1. The Evolution X version is Snow version 2 6.3 YU and April security patch, and the kernel is Kyrie Lite kernel. Now I'm seeing a lot of new kernels these days. This is my first encounter with this kernel. Of course, I have the benchmark numbers and I have tried gameplay for like half an hour, 45 minutes with BGMI and Call of Duty Mobile. So we will definitely talk about that. But first, let's go ahead and talk about this particular ROM. Now, as you can see, I by default have themed icons enabled. I have enabled them. If you look at the left, you have Google Feed. Now, look at the difference of night and day. If you use the same Google Feed in the latest official MIUI 13.0.4, it is a disaster, and see how smooth this is. Of course, this is not as smooth as Mi 11X, but it is pretty close and it is more than usable. So that's a good thing. Now the smoothness doesn't end there. It also continues in the entire UI. Even if you look at the app icon animations, they are fluid. If you go to the multitasking menu, you have a clear all button over here. You have the screenshot option, you have the select option. All these features are present along with expanded screenshot, and they work absolutely fine. You do have battery estimates over here, voice over LTE or voice over Wi-Fi. Those features are working. And you also have a few customization options. For example, you have things like dark theme, color inversion, extra dim, ambient display, heads up, gaming mode, on the go, FPS info, compass. So, all these things are very interesting, and they are very nice to have as a part of the configuration of your custom ROM. So if we talk about these tiles, say HBM, it'll give you extremely high brightness. Moving on, if you talk about compass, you will have a compass in the quick tiles as well. You have FPS over here. As you can see, FPS overlay is enabled. Gaming mode can be enabled, but it is disabled in settings. Now moving on, you have heads up, ambient display, extra dim, screencast. So, all these features are present along with screen recorder. They work absolutely fine. I've not had any major issues as far as having the screen recorder on and gaming is concerned. So that's a good thing. See, it's showing 1 or 2 FPS, and the moment we start using it, it jumps all the way to 120 Hz. So that's what you need in MIUI as well. Now, if you go to settings in Evolution X, the first thing that you will look at, of course, is the evolver, and this gives you a host of customizations. Now, you can use black theme over here. Okay, I think dark theme has to be enabled for this black theme menu. So use dark theme and then use black theme. You see this? So this definitely makes some changes to your user experience. You have a headline and body font, so you can change the font on the fly, which is a really interesting feature that I like in almost all the custom ROMs. You have signal icon style that you can change on the fly. You have, Wi-Fi icon style. You have icon shape, which you can change to squircle because that is what I prefer, right? Now moving on, you do have a ton of status bar customizations. You do have a lot of notification customizations. One of them is use app colored background. That is a good thing. Ambient edge lightning is present. Vibrate on call connect, call waiting disconnect is present. Moving on, if you go to quick settings, you can see that you do have a ton of options over here for quick settings as well. Then you have the advanced power menu, which I'm using and it works absolutely fine. And then you also have a lot of gesture customization, lock screen customization, button customization, and miscellaneous customization, which of course gives you access to the game space and you can add apps into the game space as per your convenience. So the evolver per se will give you a ton of customization options. And as you can see, you have a dedicated option over here of unlimited Google photo storage, which I have enabled, which means you will get unlimited storage in Google Photos, which is always a good thing as long as it doesn't ban your account, as the rumor was in the past couple of months. Anyways, if you go to network and internet, you have your standard stuff going on over here. Under apps, as you can see, you have game settings, which you can go ahead and enable from here as well, right? The notification, this is Android 12, so notification history is present. If you go to the battery menu, you do have thermal profiles and touch sampling rate. So not only thermal profile is there, you have high responsivity, high sensitivity, resistant area. So, this is a ROM which you can definitely use as a daily driver. It not only gives you a ton of customizations, but it is giving you so many options that you would probably not complain that this is missing and that is missing. At least that is how I felt using my SIM card in there. One thing of concern for me though, as you can see, I am not having the complete network signal bars, although I am in a very prime location, that is in the center of Mumbai, and South Mumbai usually has very good signal coverage, and this is one of the leading service providers in this particular phone, that is Airtel. So I sometimes wonder if that is an issue with this particular ROM. But as far as calling, making calls, call drops and stuff like that is concerned, I've not had any major issues at all. Moving on, if you go to sound and vibration, once again, look at the amount of options that you have. You can increase the haptic feedback level, although the Poco X3 Pro doesn't really have, one of those great or very good feeling vibration motors, like not great haptic feedback. You do have per app volume control, direct sound enhancer is present. You can enable hi-fi as well. I was going to say Wi-Fi there. Anyways, if you go to wallpaper and style, you do have themed icons and you also have Monet UI. Of course, this is Android 12. What do you expect? And Android 12 with Monet UI on almost all the custom ROMs across all the 3 devices is doing a splendid job. As you can see, the total combination of customizations and decent performance on this ROM definitely makes this a very good recommendation. Now what we'll do is we'll talk about the battery life and charging first. Now, of course, this is a Poco X3 Pro, which comes with a 5160 milliamp hour battery. And as you can see, we are in a warm weather right now. So the battery temperature is 36, but I've easily got 6 to 7 hours of screen on time. That is pretty splendid. Even in heavy usage, I was able to reach about 5 hours. So that's a good thing. Now 33 watt fast charging is working fine. The phone doesn't overheat and all. This of course was tested at around 32 to 33 degrees ambient temperature along with the original charger and original cable. So pretty good performance as far as charging and battery backup is concerned as well. Even when gaming, the frame rates are pretty consistent and there are no major frame drops. Of course, I've not tried, competition mode or scrims and stuff like that in BGMI. But if you're a casual gamer, you will not have any issues. This does not come with 90 FPS gaming. So, you can probably flash a Magisk module. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to make a video of how to enable 90 FPS on any stock or custom ROM. Moving on, let's talk performance numbers. So let's go to Google Photos first. Okay, now as you can see, CPU throttle to 86%, but the max GIPS was 187.016 and the average was 164.574. So pretty splendid performance there. Now let's move to Geekbench over here. 764 single core, a little low multi-core score. Now once again, if you go to Antutu Benchmark, 557, 243. So multi-core score and overall Antutu score is not that high, but trust me, this is a performer. This gives you a ton of customization. Safety net passes by default. Widevine L1 is working great. So all in all, pretty splendid ROM. Evolution X's latest version for this device is doing a great job. Go ahead and give it a try and thank me later. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this video. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.